God, we are here at the end of this day, and we are not trying to sound strong. We have made it through hours of noise, expectations, and quick choices, and now we finally slow down enough to notice how much is still spinning inside us. We come to you as we are, with lamps turned low and hearts still loud, asking you to guide our lives, not just tomorrow, but right now as we try to rest. We confess that guidance is what we keep asking for, but we often ask while gripping the wheel. We plan, we argue with ourselves, we replay conversations, and we try to predict outcomes so we will not be disappointed. Tonight we admit that this way of living leaves us exhausted. So we bring our need to control to you, and we ask you to loosen it, not by force, but by trust. Lead us into a simpler place where we can listen. God, we want your guidance to be practical. We do not want vague comfort that fades when we open our eyes tomorrow. We want direction that touches our real choices, how we treat people, how we spend our time, what we say yes to, what we walk away from, and what we keep doing even when nobody claps for it. We ask you to speak to us in a way we can follow and to give us the courage to obey. Right now, as the day closes, we bring you the moments that are still bothering us. The words we wish we had not said, the silence we used when we should have been honest, the small compromises we made because we were tired or afraid. We are not listing these to punish ourselves. We are placing them in your hands because we need your help to learn. Show us what to make right, what to release, and what to do differently next time. We also bring you the things we did that were good, but still left us uncertain. We tried, we showed up, we helped, we kept going, and yet we wonder if we are headed the right way. Some of us are carrying big decisions about school, work, family, money, friendships, or the future in general. Some of us are facing choices we never asked for. God, in all of it, we ask you to guide us with steadiness, not panic. We admit we are tempted to look for guidance everywhere except with you. We scroll, we compare, we chase other people's opinions, and we turn every feeling into a sign. Tonight we ask you to quiet the confusion we have created and to bring us back to what is solid. Remind us that you are not playing games with us. You are a Father who loves us, and you are able to lead us step by step. As we come closer to sleep, we ask you to meet us in our thoughts. Our minds like to run old tracks at night. We rehearse problems, we build worst cases, we imagine conversations we might have tomorrow, and we feel the pressure to fix everything before morning. God, we cannot fix everything tonight, but we can place it with you. Teach us how to hand you what we cannot solve and to trust you with what is unfinished. Guide us in the simple things too. Guide us in the tone we use at breakfast. Guide us in the way we respond when someone interrupts our plans. Guide us when we feel judged, when we feel alone, when we feel like we have to prove ourselves. Put a guard over our words so we do not wound people to protect our pride. Put a guard over our choices so we do not drift into habits that shrink our souls. Give us wisdom that fits our actual lives. When we do not know what to do, help us not to freeze or rush. Help us to take the next right step, even if it is small. If we need to apologize, give us humility. If we need to set a boundary, give us firmness without cruelty. If we need to wait, give us patience. If we need to act, give us courage. We ask for guidance that shows up in character, not just in plans. We bring before you the people we care about, because our lives are tied together. Guide us in how we love them. Guide us in how we listen. Guide us in how we show up without trying to control them. For those we live with, give us kindness in the small moments. For those we are distant from, show us whether to reach out and how to do it with honesty. For those who have hurt us, guide us away from bitterness and into your healing. And God, we ask you to guide us in how we see ourselves. We are quick to label ourselves by our mistakes, our grades, our productivity, our popularity, or our failures. But you see deeper than that. You know what made this day hard. You know what we did not say out loud. You know the pressure we felt. Help us to receive your truth, that we are loved, that we belong to you, and that you are still shaping our lives with patience. So tonight, before we drift off, we place our life in front of you again. Not the version we post or the version we wish we were, but the real one. Our schedule, our responsibilities, our hopes, our fears, our questions, our habits, our weaknesses, and our gifts. We ask you to guide us with your Spirit in a way that is gentle and steady. If there is something we need to notice, bring it to mind with clarity. If there is something we need to stop chasing, give us the strength to let it go. If there is a door you are opening, help us not to be afraid to walk through it. If there is a door you are closing, help us not to keep forcing it with stubbornness. We ask for guidance that is rooted in your love, not in our anxiety. As we breathe slowly and settle into this quiet, we choose to trust that you are here, that you hear us, and that you will not leave us to figure everything out alone. While we lie here, we ask for one clear thing to hold on to, the next faithful step. Not a full map, just enough light for the morning. Keep our hearts soft, keep our motives clean, and keep our attention on you. We rest under your guidance, and as we rest under your guidance, we admit something else tonight, God. We are tired of pretending we can hold everything together by sheer effort. We are tired of acting like we are the only ones responsible for every outcome. We have carried responsibilities that are real, but we have also carried worries that were never meant to sit on our shoulders. So we come to you now and we surrender what we've been gripping. Not because we don't care, but because we do care, and we know we need your help. God, we confess that we often treat guidance like a last resort. We try our own way first. We push, we hurry, we chase a solution, and only when we feel stuck do we finally slow down and pray. Tonight, we're turning that around. Tonight we're coming to you first, not as a habit to check off, but as a choice to trust you with our lives. We want to be led, not just comforted. We name the places where we're confused. Some of us are standing in front of decisions that affect months or years. We're wondering which door to walk through, and we're afraid of choosing wrong. We're afraid of wasting time. We're afraid of disappointing people. We're afraid of losing something if we say yes and losing something else if we say no. God, we ask you to cut through that fear. We ask you to give us clarity that doesn't come from panic, but from peace. If we are chasing guidance only to avoid pain, expose that gently. If we are asking you to bless what we already decided, forgive us and redirect us. We don't want to use you as a stamp on our plans. We want our plans to be shaped by you. Help us to want what is right more than what is easy. Help us to value faithfulness more than applause. Help us to choose what leads to life, even if it takes longer. God, we surrender the need to know everything right now. We surrender the demand for perfect certainty. We have spent so much time trying to guarantee outcomes, but life doesn't work that way. And you don't always guide us by giving the whole answer at once. So tonight, we ask for the kind of guidance that comes one step at a time. Give us enough to obey, enough to trust, enough to move forward without drowning in what if. We bring you our pressure, the pressure to keep up, the pressure to be impressive, the pressure to make everyone happy, the pressure to not fall behind. God, we place that pressure before you, and we ask you to show us what's truly ours to carry and what is not. Teach us to recognize the difference between responsibility and false guilt. Teach us to recognize the difference between conviction that leads us back to you and shame that tries to lock us in the dark. Guide us in what we think success is, because we can call something wise when it's really just popular. We can call something necessary when it's really just fear. We can call something love when it's really control. God, we don't want to fool ourselves. We want you to shape our values so our decisions come from a clean place. Some of us are asking for guidance about our future. What we should study, where we should go, what kind of work fits us, what kind of life we're meant to build. Others are asking for guidance about right now, how to get through a hard week, how to handle a conflict, how to face a change we didn't want. God, your guidance matters in both. You care about the big picture and you care about the small details. So we bring both to you without embarrassment. We ask you to guide us in our friendships and in the voices we trust. Give us discernment about who influences us. Help us not to be pulled by people who keep us anxious, competitive, or ashamed. Help us not to follow crowds just to feel safe. Lead us toward relationships that make us more honest, more grounded, more loving. And when we need to step back from someone, guide us to do it with integrity, not with revenge, not with gossip, not with a cold heart, but with wisdom. God, we also surrender the things we cannot control, other people's choices, other people's moods, the timing of results, the way situations unfold. We confess how often we try to manage what is outside our hands and how it leaves us stressed and short-tempered. Tonight, we release that. We place people we love into your care. We place situations that worry us into your hands, and we ask you to guide us in what we actually can do. Be faithful, be truthful, be kind, be steady, and keep our hearts close to you. We ask you to guide us when we are tempted to escape, instead of face what needs to be faced. Sometimes we numb out with distractions. Sometimes we avoid conversations. Sometimes we procrastinate until stress becomes our normal. God, guide us out of that cycle. Give us the strength to do the hard thing at the right time. Give us the wisdom to prepare, to speak clearly, and to take action without being driven by fear. And if guidance means waiting, teach us how to wait without falling apart. We don't want waiting to turn us bitter or restless. We don't want waiting to make us act like you forgot us. Remind us that you are working even when we can't see it. Remind us that delays are not always denials. Remind us that you can protect us by slowing us down, and you can shape us while we pause. Tonight we ask for a heart that is willing, not stubborn, not defensive, willing. If you correct us, help us not to argue. If you invite us to change, help us not to resist. If you tell us to let something go, help us not to cling. If you call us forward, help us not to hide. We want to be people who respond to you with trust. So God, we put our decisions in front of you. The ones we've already made, the ones we're delaying, the ones we're afraid to even name. We ask you to guide us with wisdom that is steady and kind. When we wake, help us to remember what matters most. Help us to notice the moments where you are leading us through common things. A conversation, a reminder, a boundary, a chance to do the right thing. Let your guidance be close enough that we don't have to strain to find it. And as we fall asleep, let surrender be our last choice tonight. Not giving up, but placing our lives into the hands of the one who knows the way. And as we place our lives into your hands, God, we ask you to guide us in the places where guidance is hardest to practice, in our thoughts, in our words, and in the relationships that shape our days. It's one thing to want direction when we're facing a big decision, but it's another thing to live with wisdom in ordinary moments. When we're tired, when we're irritated, when we're misunderstood, when we're tempted to react fast. Tonight we bring those everyday moments to you too, because they are where our lives are actually formed. Guide our thoughts, God. We admit how quickly our minds can turn against us. We assume the worst. We read into people's silence. We replay what happened, and we add extra meaning that may not even be true. We take one mistake, and we turn it into a story that we are failing at everything. We take one awkward moment, and we act like it proves we don't belong. We confess that our thoughts can become a loud room where fear talks the most. So we ask you to guide our minds back to truth. When our thoughts start spiraling, remind us that you are present. When we are tempted to believe lies about ourselves, remind us of what you say, that we are loved, that we are being shaped, that our worth is not fragile, and that we don't have to earn your attention. Help us notice when we're feeding anxiety with endless what if, and help us return to what is real. Give us a steady mind that doesn't panic easily. Give us the ability to pause before we decide what something means. God, guide our words. So much damage can happen through a few sentences. We can speak too sharply when we feel cornered. We can exaggerate when we want to be believed. We can get sarcastic when we're hurt. We can go quiet and call it peace when it's really avoidance. We can talk about people instead of talking to them. Tonight we ask you to lead our speech into honesty and kindness at the same time. Teach us how to tell the truth without making it a weapon. Help us speak with humility. When we're wrong, help us admit it quickly. When we don't know, help us say so without pretending. When we're frustrated, help us express it without disrespect. When we're excited, help us not to overpromise. When we're tempted to defend ourselves, help us listen first. Guide our conversations so they don't become competitions. Teach us how to be clear without being cruel. We also ask you to guide our silence. Sometimes we keep quiet because we don't want conflict, but the quiet grows heavy and turns into distance. Sometimes we keep quiet because we're afraid of being rejected, and we choose loneliness over honesty. Sometimes we keep quiet because we're tired, and we don't know how to explain what's happening inside us. God, guide us to the kind of silence that is wise, silence that listens, silence that prays, silence that doesn't rush to speak. And guide us away from silence that hides, silence that punishes, silence that leaves problems to rot. God, guide us in our relationships, because we need you there. Some of us are carrying tension with family. Some of us are carrying confusion with friends. Some of us feel like we're always the one reaching out, always the one trying, and we're starting to feel bitter. Others feel like we've pulled back and we don't even know how to return. Tonight we bring all of it to you. Show us where we need to repair and show us where we need to rest. Teach us how to love people without trying to control them. Teach us how to care without taking over. Teach us how to help without rescuing. We admit that sometimes we confuse love with managing. We try to steer people so we won't be disappointed. We try to keep everyone okay so we won't feel anxious. God, that's too heavy for us. We ask you to guide us into healthier love, love that is present and honest, love that sets good boundaries, love that trusts you to do what we cannot do. Guide us when we feel hurt. When someone ignores us, rejects us, or misunderstands us, we can lash out or shut down. We can hold grudges. We can keep score. We can start treating people like threats. God, we don't want to live that way. We ask you to soften us where we've hardened. Help us not to pretend the hurt didn't matter, but also help us not to let it define us. Show us how to forgive in a way that is real and wise, not fake and not rushed. And if a relationship is unsafe or unhealthy, guide us to take the right steps with clarity and support. God, guide us in the way we receive love too. Some of us don't know how to accept kindness without suspicion. We expect people to leave, so we keep our hearts guarded. We test people. We stay distant so we won't feel disappointed. But loneliness has a way of feeling like control, even when it's hurting us. God, guide us out of that. Help us take small steps toward trust. Help us receive care without feeling weak. Help us open up at a pace that is wise, and give us discernment about who is safe. We ask you to guide us in conflict. When disagreements come, we often want to win or escape. We want to be right or we want to disappear. But wisdom isn't always loud, and peace isn't always avoidance. God, teach us how to address issues directly without being harsh. Teach us how to apologize without excuses. Teach us how to ask questions instead of making assumptions. Teach us how to stay calm enough to hear what the other person is really saying. And when we're tempted to turn to gossip, guide us to stop and choose a better way. Guide us with compassion, God, because people around us are carrying things we can't see. We don't always know what someone is dealing with, and it's easy to judge quickly. Help us slow down. Help us be patient with those who are struggling. Help us be firm with what is right while still being kind. And guide us to ask for help ourselves when we need it, instead of acting like we can handle everything alone. Tonight, we also bring our online words to you because those words matter too. Guide us in what we post, what we share, what we comment, what we like, and what we watch. Keep us from using screens to stir envy, anger, or shame in ourselves and others. Help us not to build a second self that is hungry for attention. Guide us to be honest people in private and in public, the same us in every place. God, if there are relationships in our lives where we need to take a step toward healing, bring them to mind gently. If we need to send a message, help us choose the right words and the right time. If we need to have a hard conversation, guide us to prepare with prayer, not with rehearsed attacks. If we need to let go of a friendship that pulls us away from you, give us strength to do it without drama. If we need to reconnect with someone we've been avoiding, give us courage to be humble. We ask for your guidance over our homes, our classrooms, our workplaces, our teams, our friend groups, every place where we interact and shape one another. Make us people who bring peace, not confusion. Make us people who are safe to talk to. Make us people who tell the truth with love. And when we fail, and we will, guide us back quickly. Don't let pride keep us stuck. Don't let fear keep us silent. Keep leading us moment by moment into wiser thoughts, gentler words, and healthier relationships, so our lives can reflect your care in a way that feels real. We end this part of our prayer still leaning into you, asking for guidance that reaches all the way into tomorrow's conversations, tomorrow's choices, and tomorrow's reactions. Hold our hearts steady through the night, and keep teaching us how to live led by you. And as you hold our hearts steady, God, we bring you the part of our lives that often feels the most crowded, our responsibilities. We bring you our work and our school days, our chores and obligations, the expectations we feel from others, and the expectations we put on ourselves. We bring you the unfinished tasks, the deadlines, the messages we still need to answer, and the things we keep thinking about even when we're trying to rest. We ask you to guide us here too, because this is where we can get lost the fastest. God, we admit that responsibility can turn into a kind of constant pressure. Even when we're doing our best, it can feel like it's never enough. There is always another assignment, another shift, another problem to solve, another person to take care of, another thing to fix. And sometimes we start to believe that our value is measured by how much we can handle. Tonight we ask you to break that lie. Remind us that we are not machines. Remind us that we are your children and that you care about our hearts, not just our output. Guide our priorities, God. We can be busy without being wise. We can fill our days and still miss what matters most. We can spend energy on things that look important while ignoring what is truly essential. So we ask you for a clear sense of what should come first. Teach us how to recognize what is urgent and what is just loud. Teach us how to say no without guilt when something isn't ours to carry. Teach us how to say yes with integrity when something is truly our assignment. We ask you to guide the way we use our time. We confess that we can waste it in ways that leave us empty, and we can also overwork in ways that make us numb. Sometimes we procrastinate because we're afraid we won't do it perfectly. Sometimes we overdo it because we're afraid to be seen as weak. God, guide us into a healthier rhythm. Help us work with focus when it's time to work, and help us rest without shame when it's time to rest. Give us the humility to accept our limits and the wisdom to plan realistically. God, We bring you our finances and practical needs because those weigh on us. Some of us are worried about money, bills, supplies, costs we didn't expect, or things we need but don't know how to afford. Some of us feel pressure about saving, about helping family, about paying for school, about making choices that won't cause regret later. God, we ask you for guidance in how we spend, how we save, and how we give. Help us be responsible without being fearful. Help us be generous without being reckless. Give us discernment so we don't chase status or comfort at the cost of peace. We also bring you our long-term goals, God. The plans we're building, the dreams we're holding, the things we're aiming toward. Guide us so our goals don't become idols. Guide us so we don't sacrifice our health, our relationships, or our integrity just to reach a finish line. Help us build a life that is steady and honest. If we are chasing something that is shrinking our soul, turn us back. If we are afraid to pursue something you placed in our heart, give us courage and wise steps forward. God, guide us in our workplaces and schools. Give us favor where we need it, but more than that, give us character. Help us show up with honesty. Help us do what we said we would do. Help us treat people with respect even when we feel overlooked. Help us handle criticism without collapsing. Help us handle praise without getting proud. Guide us in our attitude when the work is boring, repetitive, or stressful. Help us remember that even the small tasks can be done with care, and that you see what others don't see. We ask you to guide us when we feel overwhelmed. When the to-do list feels bigger than our ability, when responsibilities pile up, when we don't know where to start, God, meet us there. Help us break things down into the next doable step. Help us ask for help when we need it. Help us not to isolate when we're stressed. Guide us away from the temptation to quit everything out of frustration. And guide us away from the temptation to keep pushing until we burn out. Give us wisdom to pace ourselves. God, we bring you our family responsibilities too. Some of us carry a lot at home, helping siblings, supporting parents, caring for someone who is sick, trying to keep peace in a tense environment. Some of us feel like we have to be the mature one, the peacemaker, the one who keeps things from falling apart. God, you see that weight. Guide us in what is ours to do and what is not. Give us grace to serve with love, but also give us boundaries so we don't disappear inside other people's needs. Help us not to feel guilty for needing support. Help us find the right people to talk to when home feels heavy. We ask you to guide us in our health choices too, God, not in a way that turns into obsession, but in a way that is wise and caring. Help us eat and sleep with enough care that we can live well. Help us notice when we're pushing too hard. Help us notice when stress is making us careless. Guide us to take small steps that protect the life you gave us. And when we don't have control over our health circumstances, give us peace and direction about what we can do next. God, we bring you our responsibilities that are unseen, the emotional labor, the constant thinking, the planning, the remembering. Some of us are the ones who keep track of everything. We remember birthdays, deadlines, details, schedules, and needs. We carry other people's feelings. We try to keep everyone okay. God, guide us out of carrying what belongs to you. Teach us how to care without carrying. Teach us how to be present without taking responsibility for everyone's happiness. We ask you to guide us with our habits, because habits shape our days more than our intentions do. If we have habits that are draining us, staying up too late, constantly comparing ourselves, putting things off, reacting quickly, escaping into distractions, shine a light gently. Not to shame us, but to help us change. Give us the strength to build better patterns, simple, steady choices that make tomorrow a little lighter. Help us to choose what brings peace, even when it's not the easiest option in the moment. God, we bring you the tasks we didn't finish today. We ask you to help us let them go for tonight. Some things can wait until morning. Some things don't need to be solved in the dark. Help us release the feeling that we are behind. Help us remember that rest is not laziness. Rest is part of wisdom, and we ask you to guide us tomorrow in finishing what needs to be finished, not with frantic energy, but with steadiness. We also bring you the tasks we did finish, and we ask you to help us receive that with gratitude. We can be so hard on ourselves that we don't even notice progress. God, teach us to see what you helped us do today. Teach us to be thankful without becoming proud. Teach us to recognize effort without turning it into identity. So tonight, God, guide us in our responsibilities with your gentle strength. Put order where there's chaos. Put calm where there's pressure. Put clarity where there's confusion. Help us wake with a sense of direction, not dread. Help us live tomorrow with focus, patience, and integrity. And for now, as sleep comes closer, help us trust that you are still guiding our lives even while we rest, and that you can handle what we cannot. And trusting that you can handle what we cannot, God, we ask you now to guide us away from harmful paths and toward what is right. We know that not every option in front of us is good for us. Not every door is meant to be opened. Not every desire is safe to follow. Sometimes the wrong path looks easy at first. Sometimes it looks exciting. Sometimes it looks like relief. But later it costs us peace, honesty, and even our sense of who we are. So tonight we ask for your protection and your guidance, not just from obvious danger, but from the slow drift that happens when we stop paying attention. God, give us discernment. Help us recognize what pulls us closer to you and what pulls us away. Help us notice what makes our hearts restless, what makes us secretive, what makes us defensive. Help us notice the choices that make us numb instead of alive. We don't want to live on autopilot. We don't want to look up one day and realize we've been building a life that doesn't match what we believe. So guide us even in the small moments when temptation shows up as just this once, or it's not a big deal. We ask you to protect us from shortcuts that cost us integrity. When we are tempted to lie to make things easier, guide us back to truth. When we are tempted to cheat to get ahead, guide us back to honesty. When we are tempted to manipulate people to get what we want, guide us back to respect and humility. When we are tempted to blame others for what we did, guide us back to ownership. God, make us people who would rather be truthful than impressive. Protect us from fear-driven decisions. Fear can make us grab for control. Fear can make us people please until we lose ourselves. Fear can make us avoid what we need to face. Fear can make us settle for less than what you're calling us to, because we don't believe we can handle more. God, we ask you to guide us out of fear and into courage. Not loud courage, not showy courage, but steady courage. Doing the right thing even when we feel nervous, even when we don't feel ready, even when we're not sure how it will turn out. God, protect us from unhealthy influences. We don't want to follow people or voices that pull us into bitterness, cruelty, or pride. Guide us in what we watch and what we listen to, because it shapes us more than we admit. Help us recognize when something is feeding anger, envy, or shame in us. Help us recognize when we're spending time in spaces that make us less kind, less patient, less honest. Give us the strength to step away, even if it's uncomfortable, even if we feel like we're missing out. Protect us from relationships that damage us. Some connections might look friendly on the surface, but they drain us, pressure us, or pull us into choices we regret. God, guide us to see those patterns clearly. Give us wisdom to set boundaries without drama. Give us the courage to say no when we're being pushed. Give us the strength to leave situations that aren't safe or healthy. And if we're the ones who have been using others, using attention, using kindness, using loyalty, convict us gently and lead us to change. God, we ask you to guard our hearts from bitterness. We know how easily bitterness grows. It starts as a small resentment. It grows when we feel overlooked or treated unfairly. It grows when apologies never come or when people don't change. And bitterness can make us hard, sarcastic, cold, and distant. God, we don't want that. We ask you to protect us from turning into someone we don't recognize. Teach us how to bring our pain to you honestly. Teach us how to forgive in a way that is wise and how to heal without pretending. Protect us from pride too, God. Pride can look like confidence, but it's different. Pride refuses correction. Pride won't admit weakness. Pride needs to be right. Pride keeps score. Pride wants control. God, we ask you to keep us humble. Help us stay teachable. Help us listen. Help us take feedback without falling apart and without getting defensive. Help us remember that being guided means being willing to be led. God, we ask you to protect us from shame. Shame tells us we are beyond help. Shame tells us we are the problem, that we will never change, that we should hide. And when we believe shame, we stop coming to you honestly. We stop asking for guidance because we think we don't deserve it. But you are not like that. You correct us, but you don't throw us away. You call us higher, but you don't crush us. So tonight we reject shame. We ask you to replace it with conviction that leads to life and mercy that gives us strength to change. Guide us when we feel tempted to escape instead of trust you. Sometimes escape looks like constant distraction. Sometimes it looks like scrolling until we're numb. Sometimes it looks like chasing approval. Sometimes it looks like isolating. Sometimes it looks like giving up on something good because it feels hard. God, we ask you to guide us back to the brave, steady path. Help us do what is right, even when it feels slow. Help us choose habits that build us instead of habits that drain us. God, protect us from making impulsive choices when we're tired, lonely, or angry. Those are moments when we can say things we don't mean and do things we regret. So we ask you for a pause inside us, a moment of wisdom before we react. Help us notice what's happening in our hearts. Help us remember what matters. Help us choose restraint. Help us choose peace. And when we fail, help us return quickly with honesty, not with excuses. Guide us toward the people and places that help us grow. Lead us to mentors, friends, teachers, family members, and community that strengthens our faith and our character. Lead us toward environments where we can be honest and safe. Lead us to conversations that challenge us in good ways. And when we need support beyond what we can do alone, guide us to reach out to a trusted adult, a counselor, or someone wise who can help us take the next step in a healthy way. God, we also ask you to protect our future. Protect what you are building in us. Protect the gifts you've placed in us. Protect the calling and purpose you are shaping, even if we don't fully understand it yet. Keep us from sabotaging our own growth out of impatience. Keep us from choosing the quick thing over the right thing. Give us endurance to keep doing what is good, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Tonight we ask you to guide us toward what is pure and steady, not perfect, but honest, not flashy, but real. Guide us toward choices that we won't have to hide. Guide us toward decisions we can make in the light. Guide us toward peace that doesn't depend on everything going our way. And when we feel tempted, remind us that we are not alone in that moment. Remind us that you provide a way forward. Remind us that we can pause, pray, and choose differently. So God, as sleep gets closer, we place ourselves under your protection. Guard our minds, guard our hearts, guard our choices. Keep us from the paths that look right for a moment, but lead to regret. Lead us into wisdom that is gentle and firm. Make us strong where we're weak, clear where we're confused, and steady where we're easily shaken. We trust you to guide us, even through the hard parts of obedience. and we ask you to keep turning us toward what is good and holding us through the night. God, we keep leaning into you because we still need guidance for what comes next. Not just decisions and timing, but the way we carry ourselves when life stays complicated. We ask you to guide us into a deeper trust. Trust that doesn't vanish when we don't feel strong. Trust that doesn't depend on perfect circumstances. Trust that stays even when we're still learning. God, we admit that our faith can feel uneven. Some nights we feel sure you are near, and other nights we feel numb or distracted. Some days we believe you're guiding us, and other days we feel like we're guessing. Tonight we bring you that honesty without shame. We ask you to meet us in the middle of our inconsistencies and steady us. We don't want to perform strength for you. We want real help. We want real peace. We want real guidance that holds up in real life. Guide us in how we respond to uncertainty. When we don't know what's next, we often try to fill the space with noise. We overthink. We research endlessly. We ask too many people. We replay scenarios. We build arguments in our heads. We try to control the future by mentally living in it. God, guide us away from that habit. Teach us to live where we actually are. Teach us to do the next right thing without needing to solve everything at once. Teach us to stay present with you rather than living in a future that hasn't arrived. God, guide us when we wake up, and the same problems are still there. Sometimes we go to sleep hoping things will feel different in the morning, and then morning comes and the weight returns. The situation hasn't changed. The relationship is still tense. The work is still demanding. The worry still tries to climb into our thoughts. God, guide us in those mornings. Give us grace that is new. Give us strength that is quiet. Give us perspective, so we don't feel defeated before the day even starts. Guide us to recognize what we can do and what we cannot do. Some of us keep trying to fix people who don't want help. Some of us keep trying to earn love from someone who refuses to give it. Some of us keep trying to prove ourselves to voices that will never be satisfied. God, guide us to stop chasing what is not ours to chase. Help us release what we cannot change. Help us accept that letting go can be wise, not cruel. And where we do have responsibility, guide us to carry it with steadiness, not with dread. God, guide us to build a life that makes room for you. We don't want prayer to be only something we do at night when we're exhausted. We want to walk with you in the middle of the day, too. So show us simple ways to stay connected. Remind us to check in with you when we're stressed. Remind us to ask for wisdom before we speak. Remind us to pause when we're tempted to react. Remind us that we can turn our thoughts toward you in the middle of normal life. Lead us into habits that keep our hearts open. Guide us in how we handle disappointment. We don't like disappointment, and we often try to avoid it at any cost. But disappointment is part of life, and it can either harden us or humble us. God, guide us when plans fall through, when people let us down, when we don't get what we hoped for. Help us grieve honestly without becoming hopeless. Help us learn without becoming cynical. Help us adjust without losing our peace. And remind us that disappointment doesn't mean you left us. It means we're living in a world that still needs your redemption, and you are still working. God, guide us in how we handle success too. Sometimes success reveals what is inside us. It can make us proud, impatient, or careless. God, protect us from that. Keep us grateful, keep us humble, keep us generous, and guide us to use whatever opportunities we have in a way that honors you and blesses people around us. Guide us through our fears, God. Not all fear is loud. Some fear is quiet and constant. Fear of being left out, fear of failing, fear of not being enough, fear of being seen, fear of change, fear of loss, fear of the future. Tonight we bring these fears to you, not to pretend they aren't there, but to place them where they belong. You know what's real. You know what's possible. You know what we can handle with your help. So guide us to face fear with faith. Faith that you will be with us in the hard moments. Faith that you will provide what we need. Faith that our lives are not random or forgotten. God, guide us in our identity. We are pulled in many directions by labels, comparisons, and expectations. But you call us yours, you call us loved, you call us forgiven, you call us being made new. Help us build our sense of self on you, not on the shifting opinions of people. Guide us to see ourselves with honesty, aware of our weaknesses but not trapped by them, aware of our gifts but not proud of them. Teach us to walk in confidence that comes from being held by you. Guide us to forgive ourselves where we need to. Some of us keep punishing ourselves for past mistakes, but if you have forgiven us, help us learn to accept that forgiveness. Help us make amends where we can. Help us learn and change, and help us stop living as though our worst moment is our permanent identity. Guide us to be patient with ourselves as we grow. Growth is usually slow. It's not a straight line. Lead us into steady maturity, small choices that add up to a stronger life. God, guide us in the way we treat our future selves. Help us choose responsibility without harshness. Help us live with wisdom that protects our future. And tonight, God, guide us into deeper rest. Not only sleep, but the rest of knowing we are not alone. We hand you our unfinished work, our unanswered questions, our complicated relationships, our hopes and fears, and our plans for tomorrow. Keep guiding us, God, even while we sleep. Let your wisdom settle deep in us. Let your peace guard our minds. Let your love be the last thing we lean on tonight. And as this prayer continues, keep leading us gently toward that quiet place where we can finally let go and rest. And keep leading us gently, God, because we are close to the edge of sleep now, and we want to cross that line with trust instead of tension. We don't want to carry the day into the night like a heavy bag we refuse to set down. We want to lay it down with you, knowing that you are still awake, still present, still guiding, even when we are no longer trying to manage everything. God, we thank you for staying with us through this whole prayer. We didn't come with perfect words, we came with real needs. We came with tangled thoughts, with moments we're proud of, and moments we wish we could redo. And you have not pulled away from us. You have listened. You have held us steady. You have reminded us that guidance isn't something you give from far away. It is something you give as you walk with us. So tonight, we receive your guidance in a quieter way. Not as a loud announcement, not as a sudden rush, but as a settled confidence that we are not alone. We ask you to keep shaping our hearts while we sleep. If there are things we've been misunderstanding, straighten them gently. If there are worries we've been feeding, help them lose their grip. If there are choices we need to make soon, prepare us to make them with wisdom and peace. God, we place tomorrow in front of you now. We don't know exactly what it will bring. We don't know what messages we'll receive, what situations we'll face, what emotions we'll wake up with, but we know you will already be there. You will already be guiding. And because of that, we do not have to wake up afraid. Guide us in the first moments of the morning. Guide us to start the day with a steady heart. Help us not to grab our worries the second we open our eyes. Help us remember this prayer. Help us remember that you are leading us. Help us choose a calm pace, even if the day tries to rush us. Help us be wise with our words and kind with our tone. Help us do what needs to be done without falling into pressure and panic. God, as we sleep, we ask you to guard our minds. When thoughts try to return, old regrets, unfinished conversations, scary possibilities, meet us with your peace. Remind us that we have already placed these things with you. Remind us that we can trust you with what we cannot control. Let our minds be protected from the kind of worry that steals rest. Let us sleep without being chased by fear. We ask you to guard our hearts too. Protect us from bitterness that tries to harden us overnight. Protect us from shame that tries to whisper that we are too far gone. Protect us from the urge to prove ourselves. Protect us from the temptation to measure our worth by what we produce. Let your love be the truest voice inside us. Let your mercy be what we remember. Let your patience be what we receive. God, we ask you to guide our steps beyond tomorrow as well. We don't have to map out our whole future tonight, but we do ask you to keep making the next step clear when it's time. Keep us teachable. Keep us honest. Keep us brave enough to do what is right. When we need to wait, help us wait with peace. When we need to move, help us move with courage. When we need to speak, help us speak with truth and kindness. When we need to apologize, help us do it without pride. When we need to let something go, help us release it without fear. We also place the people we love into your hands again, God. Guide them, protect them, provide for them. Where we have tried to carry what belongs to you, help us stop. Where we have tried to control what we cannot control, help us release it. Where we have been anxious for someone else, give us calm trust. Help us be faithful in our role without trying to play yours. God, we ask for your peace to settle over our home tonight, over our room, over our family, over everyone under this roof, and even over places that feel complicated. Let there be less tension. Let there be fewer sharp words. Let there be healing where there has been stress. Let there be comfort where there has been loneliness. And if we are sleeping in a place that doesn't feel safe emotionally, hold us close and guide us towards support and wise help in the days ahead. We ask you to cover our bodies with rest and our minds with quiet. We ask you to restore us. We ask you to give us sleep that actually refreshes, not sleep that is restless and thin. And if we wake in the night, help us return to trust instead of worry. Help us remember that you are near. Help us whisper a simple prayer and hand the moment back to you. God, we don't want to end this day with resentment or dread. We want to end it with gratitude. Thank you for getting us through what we had to face. Thank you for the strength we were given. Thank you for the lessons we're learning, even when they're slow. Thank you for the ways you protected us that we didn't even notice. Thank you for the kindness we received and for the chances we had to give kindness to. Thank you that our story is not only what happened today, our story is also what you are building over time. And now, God, we make a final surrender for this night. We release the need to figure everything out. We release the need to control outcomes. We release the need to be perfect. We release the arguments we've been having in our heads. We release the pressure to be fine. We release the fears about tomorrow. We place all of it with you because you are faithful and you are good and you know the way. Amen.